Berzalka, Gavin Berzalka, Erica Baxton, and Rin Senior. Juniors, please be thinking of it.
From the outskirts. They're going to come out right here. I don't think they can even post it.
We start off senior showmanship, and there's two young ladies out here. They're doing a phenomenal job. The showmanship styles are probably more similar than they are different. I think one, maybe just in terms of her transitions and the way she carries herself out here, probably just suits my intensity just a bit more than the other one. The young lady in the pink will be your champion, and the one in the purple will be your
Champion senior showman is Chloe Wardell. Reserve champion is Ella Miller. Entering the ring are our intermediate showmen, Sylvie Berzalka, Bentley Malone, Wyatt Berzalka, Gavin Berzalka, Erica Baxton, and Rin Swinier. Junior showmen, Penny Reinholt, Carson Cates, and Mason Swinier. Please be headed to the holding area. Remember, we need the champion showman to stay back so that we can declare an old showman.
all do a tremendous job in terms of just getting their goats stocked and in the right places. I think in terms of just consistency around the ring and getting their goats stocked up every single time, there's an individual that probably suits me the best out of this entire group, and just in terms of eye contact and intensity when they come out of the gates and as they went around the ring, and then when I go in front and get around the goats, they always know kind of what my next move's going to be, and focus up, and eye contact by far was the best out of this group. The young man in the red will be our champion out of this group.
First place of the intermediate showmanship division is Gavin Berzalka. Second, Wyatt Berzalka. Third is Rin Swinier. Fourth, Bethany Malone. And fifth, Erica Baxter. Next up, we've got junior showmanship. That will be Penny Reinhold, Carson Tate, and Mason Swinier. If we could have Chloe Wardell and Gavin Berzalka over to the holding area with your showmanship goat. We also need Ella Hiller and Wyatt Berzalka to the holding area with your goat goat.
here in the junior showmanship, and you can tell they've been watching the older ages in just terms of the way we get around the ring. Maybe we had some trouble in terms of just kind of coming out of the gate and some goats wanting to walk. But I think they get out here and do a very good job getting them stuck. I think some things just come with age and time, but they do a nice job for the stage of game they're at. There's one that just in terms of eye contact, intensity, and just knowing where I'm going to be at all times. I think that this individual does a very phenomenal job. And the one that follows her isn't far behind. The young lady in the blue, you'll be our champion. The young lady will be reserved.
Great job, juniors. That would be first, Penny Reinhold, second, Carson, and third, Mason Manning. Next up, we have Ellen Miller with our FFA showman.
Just a single entry here at FFA showmanship, but I think the young lady does a nice job in terms of just being intense and keeping eye contact at all times, and then getting our goat stuck and just at the right place. And she knows what looks best right there and for that doe, and so I think she does a very good job. Give this young lady a round of applause.
Now we're going to select the overall goat showman of the county fair. We will have Ella Hiller, Chloe Wardell, Wyatt Borzalka, Gabby Borzalka, Penny Reinhold, and Carson Cates. After that selection will be our Clover Buds.
we get into the overall showmanship drive here, and I think a group of individuals, their styles and just the way they set themselves apart in terms of their classes, and then they come back out here. I think they do a very good job in terms of just getting their animals stuck and focusing on the things that need to be focused on here in showmanship. I think they all do a very nice job. I still think there's one that just kind of excels in terms of intensity, consistency around the ring, and then they get them propped up and their goat's almost stuck near perfect every time. I applaud this individual, and I think she does a very nice job. Young lady in the pink will be our champion.
Great job, Coach Showman. We have our champion, Chloe Wardell, reserve, Gavin Rosalta, third, Ella Miller, fourth, Ryan Rosalta, fifth, Penny Reinhold, and sixth, Carson Bates. Up in the ring, we will have all of our Clover Buds. After the Clover Buds, that will conclude our showmanship show, and we will move directly into the market third show, beginning with the feeders. Erica Batson, if you can make your way to the holding area, and Juniper Cortesca, Carson Cates, Penny Reinhold, so class number 1, be thinking about it. We have another Clover Bud joining us, Payson Cates.
Once they all get in, we'll announce it.
Don't spit on it. Shut up. But no, I've had a couple of them. Let me get these.
We have some great Clover Buds in the ring. Just to give them another recognition, Maya Borzalka, Payson Cates, Corbin, and Olivia Reinhold.
Very good group. Clover Bud Showman. I asked the kids their names and then their goats' names, and there's some interesting ones. We've got everything from Mary to Chipmunk out here, but I think these kids do such a phenomenal job getting these things stuck, and I hope they stick with it as they get to the age where they can actually get out here and compete. If you would, give them all a round of applause.
Great job, Clover Buds. That will conclude our showmanship show, and like I said, we're moving directly into market. So Erica Batson will be first up with her feeder goat, Juniper Coltiska, Carson Cates, and Penny Reinhold. We will need you in the holding area for class number 1. Class number 2, begin thinking about it. That will be Finley Coltiska, Chloe Wardell, Catherine Swinier, and Juniper Coltiska.
Just one entry here in our feeder goat division, but I think this young lady's got a very nice project. This one seems to be late in terms of his maturity pattern. His cannon bow still reads cracked. He's still leaning at the base of his chest. He's still got some width and spread up high relative to, I guess, his weight and age. I think down the road should be a good project for this young lady. Give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Erica Batson, with your feeder goat. Entering the ring is class number 1, Juniper Coltiska, Carson Cates, and Penny Reinhold. We need class number 2 in the holding area. That'll be Finley Coltiska, Chloe Wardell, Bryn Swinier, and Juniper Coltiska. Class number 3, be thinking about it. That's you, Wyatt Rosalka, Chloe Wardell, and Penny Reinhold.
those started, and I think a very nice class of lightweights to start us off. The one that wins just a combination in terms of stoutness and feature and power and width from behind and up high. I think that's where that doe starts this particular class. She's the biggest in terms of her forehead and the freshest right there in terms of her rib cage. Hands on, I think she's the best over her rack and the squarest back to her loin edge. A very good place to start this class. The one that comes in second, late mature and tall shoulder type of doe, is very good in the way she extends her neck out of the top side of it. I think she's probably the longest and levelest out of her hip, and she's fundamentally built at the ground. For me, she's just a bit on the greener side today. Got to give her a punch more power right there in terms of her lower leg and cycle. The very nice doe to be in second. The one that rounds us out, stoutness of features, no problem there. Big footed, big forearm type of goat who's still bowling in terms of her rib cage. Same can be said. Need to broaden her right there at the base of her chest and tuck her up in terms of that aspect. Got to give her just more width and power to run in this class today. But very nice class to start our goat show.
Great first class. That will be Penny Reinholz is your champion, Carson Cates in reserve, and Jennifer Bautista carrying out her goat for third. We will see Penny Reinholz in the ring again when we do our overall champion. Entering the ring is class number 2 with Penny Bautista, Chloe Wardell, Bryn Swingner, and Jennifer Bautista. Class number 3, you should be in the holding area. That'll be Wyatt Barzalka, Chloe Wardell, and Penny Reinholz. Class number 4, be thinking about it, making your way over to the holding area, Gavin Barzalka and Wyatt Barzalka.
To start off this second class. I think just in terms, it starts at the front of that That one's just full shape and ear set, and has by far been my favorite that I've seen so far. His chest width is near perfect, and he's still tucked up and fresh right there at the base of it. You know, is he perfect in the way he sets his shoulder? Probably not. He's more upright in the angle to it, but I think that it's just a species problem as a whole. I think that one's still adequate in terms of that regard. He's bold and fresh right through his barrel. He's by far the freshest and most rolled up right over his rack and back to his one edge. Very, very nice weather to start the class off. And that's nothing to take away from the one that comes in second, because I think just in terms of sheer power and soundness, this one fits the bill. He's wide pin and so bold in terms of his rib cage. He's broad and spread up high, maybe just not as crisp and 12 o'clock in terms of his touching tone and that aspect, and that's just what gets him beat today. The two goats that round us out, I'll pair them up together. I think they're similar in terms of their type and kind. Late maturing type of goats that are tall shouldered, they're thin necked and tight, go down to the top side of it. Just need to come with more power and substance from behind and up high today, but very nice second class of goats.
Chloe Wardell is our champion from class number 2. Brandon Swinier gets in third. Juniper Coltista third, and Anna Coltista fourth. We have class number 3 entering the ring with Wyatt Barzalka, Chloe Wardell, and Penny Reinhold. Class number 4, you should be lined up at the holding pen. Gabby Barzalka and Wyatt Barzalka. And class number 5, please be making your way. That's London Medford and Mason Swinier. That is London, Medford, and Mason Swinier. Once we're done with class 5, we will go ahead and pick an overall champion goat. So we will need the grand and the reserves from each class to come back.
more similar than they are different. Just little things sort of. The one that starts is taller in terms of the way he's built up front. He ties his neck just a touch cleaner out of the top side of his shoulder and stays neater at the base of his chest. You know, is he just as rolled up and as expressive as the one that's in second? Probably not. But I thought he was adequate in terms of just sheer mass and power in terms of that aspect. Very nice weather to start the class off. The one that comes in second, in just terms of being the most powerful, I think this guy is the most powerful one we've seen yet in terms of just right out of the backside of his blade all the way to his jump muscle. That one is 12 o'clock in terms of just touch and tone. From the side, I like that one. Stout is a feature, but in that same breath, right there, I think is what gets him beat. He's more out at the base of his chest. It's just a thicker neck type of sheep who just doesn't tie it as seamless out of the top side of his shoulder. But very nice pair of weathers.
First place goes to Wyatt Berzalka, and second goes to Gavin Berzalka. Entering the ring is our final class of the market. That is London Medford and Mason Swinier. Just a reminder for the champions and the reserves to be making your way to the holding area so we can have an overall champion. That'll be Penny Reinholtz, Carson Cates, Chloe Wardell with both of your votes, Prince Swinier, Wyatt Berzalka with both of your votes, and Gavin Berzalka. Couple of housekeeping items. If you plan on selling your animal, please turn in your consignment forms ASAP. After the breeding show, we will also be taking backdrop photos in this ring.
Heavyweight goats here to round this out. I think in terms of being at this stage of the game, there's still plenty fresh. The one that starts is just bigger footed and style feature probably suits me just a little better in just terms of squareness and width of chest and still being bold and fresh right there through his forehead. You know, I don't know if he's got an abscess right there on his neck. Maybe he looks just a bit thicker throated. But I think still the way he ties it out of the top side of his shoulder is still plenty fine, and he reads back into a longer and longer hip. A nice weather to start this class. The one that comes in second, a tall shoulder, good looking type of goat who's still bold in terms of his rib cage. For me, with the kind of width he's got, I need to stout him at the surface and just lengthen him out at his hip. Good pair of weathers in this last class from Marky Goat.
Great final class with Mason Swinier in first and London Medford in second. We're going to pull all of the champions and the reserves back into the show ring so we can determine our overall market goat. We will have Penny Reinholtz, Chloe Wardell, Wyatt Berzalka, and Mason Swinier for the champions of their respective classes, and Carson Cates, Prince Swinier, Wyatt Berzalka, Gavin Berzalka, and London Medford for reserve. If we could also get the Sheridan County Born and Raised goats headed to the holding area, that'll be Carson Cates, Penny Reinholtz, Prince Swinier, Penny Reinholtz, Gavin Berzalka, Wyatt Berzalka, and London Medford. couple of more housekeeping items as we are choosing the overall champion market goat. If you plan on entering the ultrasound contest with your goat, go to stall 156. It's the open space on the south end. Please also be courteous of Stacy Joe's time if she has a long drive tonight, and get your backdrop photos if you plan on selling your goat. So give Stacy a big old thank you when you see her.
We get out here in the market goat ride, and I know this is probably the lowest numbered show, but I think the quality is just as high as any as I've seen since I've been in Wyoming. Like I said, some of you have heard me 3 or 4 times. You know, there are 3 things, 3 pieces of advice I guess I've given each time that I've gotten to this point. One would be thank your family outside or the people that help you, because without them, you wouldn't be here today. You wouldn't be able to show these creatures the way you do. Second of all, thank your breeders, because before you get these things, they put in a lot of hard work. They go through some trouble sometimes. Most of the time trying to just get one good piece of stock, whether they're bringing, 10, 15. Sometimes they only get one that makes it to this point. And third, most importantly, I thank the good Lord above, because without him, we wouldn't have this great nation, and we wouldn't have the freedom to do these types of things. I think this set right here gets me fired up, and I'm a goat enthusiast, but I think that there are a trio of them that really get my blood going. I think there's just one, though, in terms of just being stout at the surface, built right, and stout in terms of his mug, and being near perfect in terms of his touching tone, and still prancing around here like he's supposed to. That just gets me fired up the most. Young lady out of 3rd class, she'll have her chance.
Wyatt Bergolfa's class number 3 reserve is taking Corey Wardell's place.
dropped the second place back in. And not to take anything away from that, though, I think she's plenty good in her own right in terms of being powerful and still fresh in her shape up high. But I think it becomes a two-horse race between the one out of the second class and the one that sits out of the fourth class. I think those things are really intriguing. For me, I think maturity is going to help the guy that sits out of the second class. You know, today is probably just not ideal right there in terms of his forerib. He's not the hardest back goat out here by any means. And then the one that comes out of the fourth class, you know, is he just a little more mature in terms of his head and the way his body type is set in? Probably so. But in terms of just being hard touching and powerful and stout from behind, that's my second favorite.
Chloe Wardell with the champion Market Goat, and Wyatt Gorzalka with the reserve champion Goat at the fair.
Alright, you can do it right there. I come back in.
Entering the ring next is Sheridan County raised goats. We have Carson Cates, Penny Reinhold, Bryn Senior, Penny Reinhold, Gavin Gorzalka, Wyatt Gorzalka, and London Medford. These goats were raised by Gorzalka Livestock, Finley Show Goats, Gorzalka Show Goats, London Show Goats, and the Medfords. Showing these born and raised goats, if we could get the class 1 of junior goats headed to the holding area, that will be Wyatt Gorzalka, Sylvan Gorzalka, Prince Junior, Ella Hiller, Thomas Gorzalka, and Bentley Malone.
Probably pushing question is maturity just as such in just terms of his head shape and the way his body sets in. And he's not as just tucked up and athletic in terms of his rib cage, but in terms of just being 12 o'clock and on point in terms of touch, tone, and power from behind, and still fresh in terms of his rib cage with the extras of foot size and feature, along with build. I think that one ties those things together awfully nice. The one that comes in second, like I said earlier, in terms of just being so powerful, that one fits the bill from that aspect. Wide pin, bolt body type of goat, who's the most expressive right there on the back side of his shoulder to his jump muscle. For me, thought he was just thicker right there at the base of his neck. I didn't tie him to seamless out at the top side of his shoulder and gets touched right or hip. The one that's third in this division, powerful in his own right, but when you're running with two heavier weight goats, kind of fall out just in terms of touch and tone out the backside of his shoulder over his rack and back into his loin edge. Just got to give him a little more pop in terms of that aspect. The doe that comes next, still wide made, bold body type of goat. You know, her hip and hind leg comes relative to the three ahead of her. Just needs to relax and read with more set into it. A very nice doe to be forward there. The one that comes next, late maturing type of doe that's tall fronted, long, thin neck type of goat who's still level out of her hip. Just got to come with a punch more power. The two that round this out very similar in terms of their type and kind. Late maturing, lean made type of sheep who still have, goats who still have plenty of shape of height. I just need to give them more width and power from behind. But nice division of bred feds.
Our champion Brennan Fed is Wyatt Rosalta, with reserve champion going to Gavin Rosalta, and they are both raised by Rosalta show goats. We will go right into the breed show. That concludes our market goat show this year. We'll start off with our class 1 of junior goats. That's going to be Wyatt Rosalta, Tilden Rosalta, Ray Swigner, Ella Miller, Tallis Rosalta, and Bethany Malone. If we could get class 2 of the junior goats headed to the Harvard area, that'll be Wyatt Rosalta, Gavin Rosalta, and Ella Miller.
By the end of this.
We've got a little bit of a break here. I just wanted to thank our judge coming from Texas and our ring help today, as well as all the just the people behind the scenes that have helped put this on and have been going and working at this all year long and trying to make it the best year fair it's been. So thank you guys all very much.
Very intriguing pair of those to start this class off. And if I were these boys, I'd be excited to have these. I don't know what their plans are to do with them on down the road, but if they're theirs, I think they could have a fun ride for a while. Ultimately, I think the one I start with, just in terms of extremes, probably just pushes the max just a little bit more in terms of just true foot size and feature. And when you read through her buzz, I think she's got just more outstanding shape right there over her rank. You know, get in behind them, and that's where I question, does she have the same kind of just pin width and mass and power? And I think that's where the goat in second has the advantage there. But I thought just in terms of intriguing pieces, tying a big gnarly skull and a skinny neck out of a good shoulder, that one suited me the best. The black-headed goat that comes in second in terms of just true mass, width, and power, that one probably suits me the best in this class. She's got the most overwhelming dimension right in there from a 3/4 view. Her rib cage is really, really good when she sets up. She kind of wants to be a knucklehead, throw her chest out just a touch. She wants to sink her neck back down into her shoulder, and I just think that's a result of it being more right forward, and still she reads just a touch rounder out of her hip, and I'd like to just sound her up at the surface relative to what she's got up high, but very, very intriguing pair of those to start off. The one that comes up in third in terms of just height of blade and the way she ties her neck smooth out of the top side of it, I really, really like that female and being long, level out of her hip, and just really maternal in terms of her look. But when you run into a pair of powerhouses like that, you just got to come with some more extras to move up in that class. The one that rounds us out in terms of just being intriguing in terms of her skull shape, neck set, and width of chest, and still being clean in terms of that aspect. I think she's really good. Just needs to come with more volume in terms of her rib cage today. But very intriguing class of those to start the breeding show off.
Great first class for our breeding goat show with Wyatt Bergalta in first and Bentley Malone in second. Stand by, boys. You are going to be entering the ring again in just another class or two. We have our second junior goat class entering the ring now with Wyatt Bergalta, Gavin Bergalta, and Ella Miller.
does. I'll be real honest. This is might be the most fun part of the day I've sorted so far. I think the quality is really deep in this set of those we've sorted through so far. Another intriguing pair. The surface completely different and opposite of each other. For me, I think the one that starts, just in terms of the extras again, pushes them to the max. That's a big-footed, big forearm goat who's really skinny necked and has a big old stout noggin sitting in her. Relative to the one that's sitting in second, she's bolder and fresher right there in terms of her forward. She's battered back into her flank line. I think that goes awfully good. The one that comes in second from the side, get her parked right, and her silhouette is kind of what you're after when you're making these things. The way she lays her blade into her skeleton and ties her neck out of the top side of it is near perfect, and she's so good in the set to her knee. For me, from a 3/4 view, that's where I think she got me. She's just a little bit flatter right there in terms of her lower leg. She wants to get flatter right there in terms of her forward, and still when you get off of her, she's sticking right there at the base of her neck. But very nice doe to go second. The one that comes third probably mimics my class winner, just turning in terms of the extras of being stout at the surface and bold and wide throughout. I didn't think her build quite ran with the top two. She's more straight right there in the angle to her shoulder. She wants to play it pretty coasty in terms of her honk. I just like to relax her off either end of her skeleton. The one that comes forth in terms of just sheer power from behind, I think that one checks the box. That's a wide square pin type of doe who reads with so much turn and flare right there to her lower leg. Still, I just didn't know if her build quite ran with the rest of them. She's more upright, the angle to her blade, over in her knee. Just got to relax her in terms of that aspect, but very nice set of does.
Wyatt Barzalka is your class winner, and Ella Hiller will get second. We're going to select an overall junior doe now, so we need Wyatt Barzalka, Bethany Malone, Wyatt Barzalka, and Ella Hiller in the ring again. If I could get class 4 with the yearling does headed to the holding area, that's going to be Wyatt Barzalka and London Medford. We could have the contestant showing 2-year-old does, just be thinking about it. That's going to be Bryn Swinier and Erica Batson. Ella Hiller, you are needed. Please come to the holding area with your goat. Ella Hiller, we need Gucci last call.
He's coming.
You can bring her in the exit gate if it's closer.
We get these things back out here, and they're not perfect molds of each other, but I think that each of these exhibitors have a project that they could tinker with and make some pretty fun projects down the road. I'll be real honest, you get the lightweight or the young doe out here, and she is stout in terms of her features. She's probably the stoutest in terms of that aspect. She just fit the mold in terms of being stout from behind and just the wolfiest right there in terms of the center part of her body relative to another one. I don't think so. And then we get the old one back out here, and she really just poses herself together and looks like what a doe should look like at this stage of the game. I think that's a very nice project for that young man, and he'll be our grand. I dropped the second place back in that class, and I thought both classes, the pairs were tough up top. I probably showed you what I liked, just a little more stoutness, a little more power, because the pretty ones probably went second. You drop this one back in terms of just look, build, silhouette from the side. I think that one's awfully nice, and the way she ties her neck out of the top side of her blade, she's still the most appropriate right there in the set of her knee, and she gets out and goes like one should. Like I said, last three-quarter view, is she just the best right there in terms of her forehead? And I still think that's the question there. But I think just in terms of silhouette, look, and build, that one's my second favorite.
Your overall junior doe goes to Wyatt Barzalko with Chica, and your reserve goes to Ella Miller with Gucci, and they will be entering the ring again here in just a couple of classes. Until then, we have our class number 4 with the overall yearling does. We've got Wyatt Barzalko and London Medford entering the ring. Prince Whittier and Erica Batson with your 2-year-old does, you are up next. So please be getting ready in that holding area, and then we're going to select an overall supreme breeding doe in our final drive.
nice to have mature does here, and I think the one that starts it was tremendous in terms of just the base of her horn section, right down aspect, and it carries all the way down to her chest and into her rib cage and out through her pen set. She's mature, so she's not as furry, I guess, as the young ones, but I think foot size and features still adequate to what the amount of mass and power she's got up high and from behind. The doe that comes in second, tall-shouldered, elevated type of goat who's still level out of her hip, just needs to come with a touch more mass and power for me today, but a very nice class of mature does.
First place yearling doe goes to Wyatt Rosalka. Second place goes to London Medford. If you guys would please stick around in the holding area, you're going to be entering the ring again. Until then, we have a 2-year-old doe class with Bryn Swinyer and Erica Batson entering the ring now. If we could get Wyatt Rosalka with Chica, Ella Hiller with Gucci, Wyatt Rosalka with Victoria, and London Medford with Taylor to be in the holding area, that'd be great.
Set of 2-year-old does. The one that starts probably is just more my speed in terms of just being stouter at the surface and coming with more mass and power throughout. She's still good in terms of her look and in terms of her head shake and the way she ties it out of the top side of her shoulder. For being 2 years old, I think that one's awfully nice. The one that comes in second is really good in terms of being at least long and extended up front and being long and level out of her hip. For me, just got to come stouter at the surface relative to what she's got up high, but very nice class of 2-year-olds.
All right, we have Bryn Swinyer in first with her 2-year-old doe and Erica Batson in second with her 2-year-old doe. We're going to choose an overall supreme breeding doe with Wyatt Rosalka, Ella Hiller, Wyatt Rosalka, London Medford, Bryn Swinyer, and Erica Batson entering the ring again. Once we select that supreme breeding doe, we're going to go into the best pair of does at any age with Bryn Swinyer. And if we could get the kid doe face number 2 contestants ready, that's Erica Batson and Bryn Swinyer.
just in terms of being fresh, powerful, and having the extras. I think they do that and check the boxes. The middle ones here, the 1-year-olds, just in terms of being fundamentally built, still being stout, powerful, and being able to get out and go. And then the 2-year-olds, impressive in terms of the way they still hold themselves together out here. I'll be real honest with you, I won't take too long. I think there's a pair of them out here that are awfully wicked good. I'm going to keep the 2 young ones together, and then they'll be our grading reserve.
Supreme Green Go goes to Wyatt Borzalka with T-John, and Reserve goes to Ella Miller with Vinci from the Junior Doe class. Entering the ring is the best pair of does at any age with Rin Swinier. If we can get Erica Baxton and Rin Swinier ready with your phase 2 going kid pair.
What? Are they scratching? Yeah, they get crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Lacey, class 7. Evie and Frankie. Oh, I thought maybe you showed me go. I was so excited. Never. Never say never.
A good pair of those on here, and I think they resemble each other. Just in terms of their basic build, being stout and opened up and still bold in terms of their rib cage. I still, for a 2-year-old, I think that one's impressive in the way she handles up high and all the way back into her loin edge. And then the little one, the same thing there. I think an awfully impressive pair of those here.
Good job, Rin Swinier, with your pair of does. Our last class of the evening to round out our breeding goat show will be our Doe Kid Phase 2 with Erica Batson and Rin Swinier.
This class is a part of our Supreme Doe project, so they have to, in phase 2, bring back the doe that they showed in phase 1, along with the kid that they had, or kids they had this year. At the conclusion of this class, we need all market goats that are being consigned to the sale to the show ring to get your picture with Stacy Joe. So if you are consigning your goat to the sale, get up here so as soon as this gets done, she can get your picture taken.
goats out here and with their kids, and I think this is really important to do, I guess, what they all call phase 1 and phase 2. It gives these kids real life production agriculture experiences, and I think this is awesome, and this is what this bill is about. The one that starts us off, I think she's got a very nice pair of kids by her side, a scout-made white pins, still bold in terms of their body type. You know, maybe they're just not perfect in terms of being 12 o'clock today, but they've still got a ways to go to be at their max and to be at their 12 o'clock. But very good, nice set of goats to start us off. The one pair that rounds us out, like I said, they're very tall fronted, extended, really long and level out of her hip, and I think the same can be said about her kid. Very nice pair of goats there. Give these kids a round of applause.
Bryn Swinier will take our last class, and Erica Baxton will get second in that last class. Once again, guys, if you are wanting to enter that ultrasound contest, go to cell 156 to get that ultrasound, and don't forget